Hey y'all. So today I'm a nurse. Happy Halloweeny. Happy Halloween. I got my scrubs on. I've already had scrubs because, I worked in the medical, so that was cheap for me. All I had to do was put it on. Yeah, see my I don't even know what they are. Animals on my yeah. This would be good if I worked in aren't these animals? I don't know what's on my shirt. Be good if I worked in a vet's office. So anyway, today I want to talk to you about the anger and the hostility and the pure hatred that men have for women. Okay. And some of the hatred has been so normalized that we don't even realize that it's a form of hatred. All right. Let me add some light because that would probably be nice. Oh, there we go. Isn't that nice? That's nicer. You can actually see me. A lot of hatred that men have. And let's talk about it. I think that when you look at women, and I'm not talking about psycho women because they're beyond help, okay? I'm talking about your average woman has hope no matter how evil men are, no matter how hateful they are. And let me do this caveat also, not all men are hateful, so I don't want to hear nothing about, well, you're just an angry, bitter, cynical lesbian. Are you done? Are you freaking done? Okay. Not all men do this. There's a small, tiny handful of men that don't act this way. So I'm obviously not talking about you, all right? But there's a lot more men who are nasty and are hateful and they despise women. I've heard people say over and over and over again that men on the workplace, a lot of them are married and they absolutely hate their wives and they're constantly saying derogatory things about their wife, and she's a bee and she's lazy and she's a fat ass and she's this and she's that, and all the other guys laugh and they chime in, my wife's a bitch too. And this is a common toxic workplace environment mentality. It's like a men group thing. We bond over hating our partners, which to me is asinine. I'm the oldest of 3 kids, okay? I'm a fixer. That's my problem. I'm a fixer. Some situations cannot be fixed. And group hatred, one gender hating another gender, is absolutely asinine. And there's a lot of reasons for it. Men resent, not all, but a lot of men have hatred towards women because they were pushed into marriage and they didn't want that. They got pushed into it because of their career. Y'all know your careers push you into that. Y'all know that. Y'all know that. Okay? You're not going to find too many doctors, too many lawyers, too many corporate people, CEOs, CFO, presidents, and vice presidents of companies. You're not going to see very many who are single because those types of careers, on the higher end of things especially, prefer for you to be married, which is asinine, but unfortunately, that mentality still exists. You've got your personal life in order because you're married. It looks good on paper that you're married. And so people will be pushed into something that they absolutely did not want. Absolutely did not want. Okay? So that causes anger. You've got men who are bisexual and they cannot live their true life. Their family will not accept it. Their job will not accept it. They will lose friends. Their church would fall out on the ground if they knew that they were actually gay. Okay? Or bisexual. So they live this lie and they get married to the opposite gender knowing damn well you got no business doing that because that's not even your thing. Okay? That's not your thing. You're not qualified to be married if you are bisexual. You are not qualified to be married if you're actually gay and you want to marry a woman and you're a man. You know damn well that ain't your cup of tea, so why are you doing that? because you're selfish. You want to misrepresent so that you don't lose anything, so you don't get hurt. You know, you lost your best friend. They don't speak to you. I'm not going to be friends with no queer. People lose friendships behind that. So I have to live this lie because I don't want my life to be altered for the worse. So I'm going to marry this person, and I'm going to make their life a living hell because I don't want you no way, which makes you unqualified to be married. Okay? You have men who are also not all men. Let me put that caveat out there again. Not all men, so zip it if you're not in this category. But this is a commonality. Men will smash the cake in their bride's face. I guess they think that's funny to humiliate her and destroy her makeup and her hair on her most important day of her life. You know, what in the hell are you doing? I told you about a guy who, he said, this is part of his vows on his wedding day, in front of the pastor and the family and friends. I'm going to hit that ass as often as I see fit. Really? Did you honestly, or did you go from a so-called adult to a 12-year-old or a 10-year-old? Really? I talked to a 15-year-old today who was more mature than him. I'm just telling you. 15. Almost as tall as me, by the way. And he's more grown up than this dude that was getting married. She should have agreed to do not sign the license. When the pastor says you are married and got to sign the paperwork, don't sign a damn thing. Instead of going through an annulment, you just don't sign the paperwork. But there's red flags before that day. He was an immature ass way before the wedding day, and I guess she overlooked it. And a lot of people think if I get married, he'll change or she'll change. Oh, they will. They will. But they get worse. That's the change you're going to see. Okay? Women have been through the absolute worst of the worst of the worst. And one of the worst situations that I've known of was a criminal situation. It's a true story where she married someone who was so nice and always had a smile on his face, and you're so beautiful, and I can't wait to marry you one day. He was a psycho. She found out after they were married. He took one of the kids' toys and strung it up by the neck like it was hanging. I think he hung it from the curtain string thing or from a lamp, whatever the lamp string, whatever the hell it was hanging from. So that's basically a threat. He'd fly into rages. Oh, he hid all of that before they were married. He hid all of that. Y'all are so good. Y'all who are crazy as hell, y'all hide. But it always comes out. The truth always comes out. So she had 3 boys, and the oldest got tired of, I'm tired of you putting your hands on my mom. So now he's a threat. He's young, he's strong, and he's going to protect his mom. Well, that's an issue because Psycho is accustomed to ruling the entire house, including the children. She came home one day. He threatened to kill them. And he put his hands on her son, and because he don't appreciate you protecting your mother, because I hate her anyway, and you need to mind your business. That is his business. That's his mom. That's his mom. So she basically told him, the crazy, you put your hands on my son again, and I will kill you. Well, he decided to beat her to the punch. She came home from wherever she was, and she found all 3 of her sons shot to death. Do you know, and this is an example of a woman's endless hope and strength and determination and open heart being wide open. Most women, I would think, would be, if I meet another man, you better look the other way. Don't you even think about looking at me. A man ruined my entire life. It took my babies away. Don't none of y'all even look at me. You would think that would be her normal reaction to that. She ended up falling in love eventually, right? She fell in love with another guy. He ended up having 3 sons, and she ended up being a stepmother to those boys until her husband died. And he was actually a good man, not a psycho. It blows my mind that she even wanted another relationship. I couldn't do it. You killed all 3 of my kids? I don't think I could ever. I just can't see it. I can't see it. But I don't know. I don't know. But it goes to show you that women, normal women, do not have repeated horrible relationships. And now I hate all men, and y'all could just dive into a shark's mouth, and I'm never gonna. Now we're getting to that point, though. We are finally getting to the point where women do not want to be bothered with men. We are tired of the abuse. We are tired of the psychological toxicity. We are tired of, you can't love nobody, but you can't fall in love, but you can fall in bed. We get tired of that. We are not your personal hooker. Okay, so we just get burnt out. So there's the 4B movement. Like I said, it started in Korea, and women are just up to here with it. They're just tired of their lives being ruined behind men. And even when it comes to physical intimacy, men are evil. I'm gonna beat that up. I'm gonna break your back. I'm gonna smash, and all of these other violent terms. You know why? Because they hate us. They absolutely hate us. There's nothing romantic about smashing somebody. There's nothing romantic about breaking somebody's back. I'm going to tear you up until you can't walk. Oh, yeah, that's hot. Not. So everything has underlying, underneath, just below the surface of anger and violence, even in the bedroom. The hatred is, you can almost smell it. It's oozing out of men's pores. I'm sure there are some women who hate men, but most women still have hope, even if it's not hopeful. It doesn't look good all the way around the board. It does not look good because there's so much hatred. Look at all the people, the women, who are being eliminated by their partners because they are up to here with the abuse, and they said, that's it, I'm out. Don't tell your partner, your crazy partner, you're leaving. You just leave. Don't give your enemy a heads up, ever. That's how women lose their lives. I hate your guts, but I decide when it's over. You don't decide nothing because you are lower than the ground in my book. I decide when it's over. You're not going to embarrass me by leaving me. So then he decides to end her life. And women will deliberately get pregnant because they're not using birth control. We have tons of birth control. We have every type of birth control imaginable. It's 2024. There's no reason for you to get pregnant. Now, if you were using something and it didn't work, that's a different story. But there's no excuse to just oopsie get pregnant. And I have warned women, some men don't see that as romantic and beautiful because you're pregnant. He don't see that. He sees it, if he's toxic and he's a narcissist, he sees it as, you got some fool coming into our picture, into this scenario, and that thing, it's not their son or daughter because the person's toxic, right? That thing is going to be taking my money. All my money. I could hear it being vacuumed out of my wallet. So, and then he didn't, even if she's not leaving him, she's pregnant, he don't want all his money taken. So he eliminates her, which eliminates the baby because she's pregnant with the child. And I done told women, and somebody jumped my world and told me that something was wrong with me for saying this. I don't care what you think. I said, well, women refuse to use birth control. So until they start doing it, this is going to continue to happen. And so this guy said, "Why would you say something like that? And you obviously want it to happen, and something's wrong with you, and you need to see a psychiatrist." I said, "Did you watch the news at all? Did I say I wish that when women get pregnant, that their lives are gone? I never said that. I said, if you do not agree to have a child with someone, even if they agree, if they're a toxic, narcissistic person, they may agree to whatever is going to sound good, and then they may take your life anyway because they suckered you into something that they really didn't want. And they know the easy way to do it is to get rid of both of y'all, especially women that are not married. When you get pregnant and you're not married, he can decide to eliminate you because it's not what he wanted. And he feels trapped. If he's a toxic person, he feels trapped. You got pregnant so that you could lock me in. I'll fix you. I'll get rid of both of y'all. Now, is it toxic as hell? Psychopathic or sociopathic? You damn straight. But it still happens. So you have to stop letting yourself get knocked up, especially if you're not married. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Psychotic people, toxic people, narcissistic people do not value marriage either. They don't value marriage either. Narcissists do not give two damns about the vows, and we looked at each other's eyes and we cried and we said, "I love you and I love you too" under the moonlight. They don't give a God blessed damn about a vow. So what? We said words, blah, 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 live to be together until death do us part, blah, 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 blah. They don't give a damn about that. That's why they're humping around still. They were humping around before you got married. They were humping around when you got engaged. And they're going to continue to hump around when you get married. Vows mean absolutely nothing to a narcissistic person or a sociopath or psychopath. It means nothing to them. I am grandiose. I am entitled. And if I see a cute little booty over there, I'm going to get it. Because I can. The world owes me everything. Just because I breathe, the world owes me for that. That's a narcissistic twisted mentality. So the mentality, the anger that men have, eliminating women left and right, beating the shit out of women left and right, domestic abuse is on the rise. Women being annihilated is on the rise. Men annihilating their entire family is on the rise. And I have an easy solution for crazy men. Leave women the hell alone. You don't need them for getting it on because you got this. Pull up some adult stuff on your phone, get some lotion, whatever you use, and handle your business. And leave women alone. You don't need us for that. You don't need us. And if you don't know how to sew on a button and you don't know how to fry an egg, I think you better look in YouTube and you better figure it out. How to fry an egg. Everything you want to know is on YouTube. Anything you want to know is online. You don't need women. And you're not qualified if you are mentally ill. You are not qualified if you are a narcissist. Stop getting with women who you hate. Stop going to your job and all of y'all men are comparing notes about trying to outdo each other. My wife is worse than your wife. Oh no, the hell she is. My wife is this, that, and the other. And they're all laughing about it. That's not funny. You're all toxic. You're all sick. Women still have hope. Some women probably hate men. Eileen Wuornos hated the absolute hell out of men. That's why she murdered them. She got the death penalty, which no one will miss her. She was really... Woo! Okay? I can't even... look. I can't even describe how crazy she was. But she had some serious... She was a prostitute, and she would kill her Johns. She... I don't know, must have suffered some severe abuse growing up. That's the only thing I could think of that would get her on a path of, I'm going to get back at all men. Every single one of them. So, the anger, the hostility, beating people up, women beating men, men beating women up. Y'all might remember where a guy asked a woman out and she politely declined and he went upside her face with a brick. What in the hell are you so god dang angry about? What are you so angry about? They're shooting up schools. I told you that. Domestic violence is just so common. And I'm sure during COVID it increased exponentially because now y'all are squeezed in the same space, forced in the same space. I don't know. I see an epidemic of hatred towards women. There are women who not only want to avoid men, but they're afraid of them. And they will say that online. They will admit, I don't like being alone with men because they scare me. They don't scare me because I'm crazy too. Now, go ahead and play with me and I will go to jail. Play with me if you want to. Okay? I grew up abused. I'm not going to take that off of you. Just telling you. Some of us are nice and our empathy, we get beaten over the head with our empathy, but what people don't realize is there's the other side that you really don't want to test and toy with, because we're not just nice and we're just like just nice to everybody who, even if they're mean. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Those of us who have been through severe challenges in our life, we're not going to take no, we're going to get to the point where we're going to have images of doing something horrible to you. Don't think that the empathy just makes us a ding-dong ditz, because that's where you're wrong. Okay? Especially if people have PTSD. You don't know what they've been through. And you playing games, you dancing with the devil by the pale moonlight is what you're doing, and you don't want to do that. Okay? There's an epidemic of hatred towards men. And you know what? I'm going to try to see if I can find the video. There was a man who admitted that too. A man. He's married and he don't hate women. And he don't hate his wife. I'm going to try to put the video, his video. He was talking about how men hate women. And they're just extremely abusive and nasty towards them. He's a man and he's saying it. So what are you going to do? Call him a lesbian too? Okay. It's an epidemic of hatred. And it is so far out of control that women are giving up. Women are choosing to be celibate. Women are choosing to stay out of relationships. And women are forming communities within their own, meaning women are friends with each other. They look out for each other. They have play dates with, you need a day off, sister, you too tired, bring your child over here. Me, your kid can have play dates. They're developing a community within them, within their own. And that's what they should do, because men will destroy you. Some women get love forever. Most of us do not. We don't. We get hatred and manipulation and lies and cheating. And my God, it's everywhere. Everywhere. Absolutely no morals, no ethics, hatred for women, absolute hatred for women. Leave us the fuck alone. Leave us alone. Stay away from us. If we're poisoned, stay the hell away from us. Why would you drink poison and make us feel bad? Stay the hell away from us. If we are that toxic to you and we destroy you and you would rather beat us up, stay the hell away from us. Because I'm going to tell you right now, some women ain't going to take that shit off you. Some women are not going to take that shit off you. I know one guy, it was in a criminal book, a criminal justice book. He was beating up his wife all the time and she got god dang sick and tired of it. And he had a knife and he had it up in the air like this. I talked about this a long time ago. He had the knife up in the air and she shot him and he fell on his knees and he died instantly. When he died, his arm was up in the air like this and he was dead like that. He was dead. So there's evidence that he was coming after her because the cops could see it when they walk in. That he still got the knife in his hand and he had it raised. He was literally dead like that. Like he had instant rigor mortis. His body froze in that position because he died instantly. Some people are not going to take that shit off you. Your best bet is to get your ass in some comprehensive therapy and leave women the hell alone. Leave them alone. And we're going to go there because I really don't give a damn. There's a lot of women, not women, Well, girls have been pulled into trafficking, okay? You know what I'm talking about. Some of their clients have been, and this is an epidemic also. Some of their clients, when they're 10, 11, 12 years old, and they got illegally pulled into trafficking, kidnapped, you know, the whole bit, their clients are doctors, lawyers, judges, politicians. So there's an epidemic of adults desiring children. Trafficking is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Multi-billion-dollar. You know why? Because there's always going to be customers. That's nasty. But it's happening all over the place. All over the place. The world is turned into basically Sodom and Gomorrah. And the hatred that men have for women, you could almost smell it. You could almost taste it. It's palpable. You can feel it. Stay the hell away from women. Nobody's putting a gun to your head and making you be with a woman. Stay the hell away from them. And get your ass in therapy. Okay? Even women who have had major problems with men, they still hope that one day they meet their, knight in shining armor. But women are not going on an epidemic of hating men and wanting to beat them up. That does happen. There are some women that are so toxic they don't care. They will do this, okay? They will beat up their partner. And worse. But the amount of men that do it, that absolutely hate women, I don't think our numbers could go that high for as many men that are in that position. It's scary. If I hate somebody that bad, I'm going to stay away from them. I'm not going to get married and have children with them and then beat her up for the rest of her days or whatever and beat the kids up because I got to be king dingling and I got to control somebody. Something's wrong with you. Something's wrong with you up here. Figure it out and leave women the hell alone. For those of you who do love women, and I don't mean love them because you're a whore and you can't stop screwing women. I'm talking about you have respect for women. You admire women. You see her as, and that's another thing. Oh, we're going there. That's another thing. Women, science has shown, psychological testing has shown that men see women as objects. We already knew that. All you gotta do is walk by a man and he's already looking at your boobs and your behind and everything else. So we already know we're objectified. But science has proven that men's brains do not see us as human beings. They see us as something to use and manipulate, lie to, cheat, beat up, and everything else. So there's not only an epidemic of disrespect, but there's an epidemic of mental illness. Something has to be done. Men, if you don't want to go to therapy, stay the hell away from women. Bottom line, leave us the hell alone. We didn't put a gun to your head and make you be with us. Stay away from us. If something is seriously wrong with you, stay the hell away from us. Okay? It's just that simple. Y'all take care. Much love. Bye.